Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
Hi everyone, my name is Hemant. I welcome you to INKPOTHUB Media. Today we have with us Miss Amrita Chakraborty, who is an FPM scholar at MICA. So we will ask her about her admission experience and campus experience and dive into life of a scholar. We welcome you, Amrita.
Thank you, Hemant.
So Amrita, let's dive into the whole thing straightforward. Uh, why did you choose a research career?
So my motivation was like when I was in the masters, like as you know, like I was in BHU and then Durham. So
Mhm.
during all these masters courses while I was pursuing, I was having all this question that whenever I used to read any concept or read any theories,
Mhm.
so I used to always ask this question that why this theory is that, like why X is always leading to Y is leading to X, like how these things are coming up, who
Mhm.
made it. So all these questions used to always come up in my mind. So that is why, like, I was so thirsty to know all this, like what is the answer can be. So that's where is one of my motivation, which I found that okay, I think I need to study more. So that's where I thought that okay, I should opt for research. Then also one of the most attractive thing of research is like it's it's so much of intellectual knowledge you gain.
Mhm.
So when I entered research, or when I was like getting a glimpse, because I had few friends who were in research, so while interacting with them in Durham, so there I understood that actually whenever you are taking something from the academia, you always has to be that person that okay, I want to give also back something.
Mhm.
Now giving back comes when you actually do a very good research and you actually develop that intellect to make that research so nice that yeah,
Mhm.
it is worth giving something to the academia which has given you so much of knowledge. So that's where my motivation comes into going
So
into
the
research.
curiosity and your willingness to knowledge creation led you to the research thing.
Yes,
Great.
exactly.
So how did your experience at BHU and Durham encourage you to move towards this area of research and research in general?
So my area of research is, if I can specify that, it is
Mhm.
on marketing.
Mhm.
So I did my masters in economics. One of my masters from BHU was in economics, and it was on industrial economics. So
Mhm.
industrial economics is the amalgamation of marketing and economics together.
Mhm.
So that's where I thought that okay, if I want to polish my skills, I should go for further advanced where I can know more about the marketing,
Mhm.
because that's the first time I got encountered with marketing principles, marketing theories. So that's where my interest developed.
Mhm.
So now from there, when I went for Durham, so I got knowledge about what marketing is, the core of marketing and everything. And now I work on marketing,
Mhm.
which is a broad area of research. And I work in marketing because it interests me a lot. And that's where I find that, okay, that is where my expertise lies. So you can't, it's not like a MBA course, like, okay, teacher is teaching you and you're listening. So it's
Mhm.
like, if teacher is, it's a discussion mode. Like I'm discussing with the faculties, asking questions that why it is so. So I found that marketing is that area where I can actually excel my skills, and that's where I can work more seamlessly.
Mhm.
So that is where it come I landed up in marketing as a research area. And also one of the, like a very general point, it might be that marketing has a very wide scope, like irrespective of whatever discipline you have done your masters.
Mhm.
uh, like of course some discipline which is related might be in arts or commerce, you can always land up in doing research in marketing because it's such a broad area. So it's like it won't be a disaster for you if you choose a research area which is marketing. That is
That also answers the second question on why did you
oh
choose marketing as the area for doctoral research. That's great. So Amrita, what made you choose MICA Ahmedabad for FPM?
uh, I I chose MICA because what I had in my mind as a perception about research is that it is a process where it is not like I got a degree and then it's like done and dusted. Oh, that's all. Now I'm gone. So it's like a commitment that you make generally in a relationship where you have to ensure your mental well-being too. So that is very much important in a PhD doctoral journey, because that's where it's going to make your journey very comfortable. And in the 4 years when you are coming out, it's like with a smile you are coming out, not with tears. So in MICA, I chose specifically MICA because I had worked there as a research assistant for the last 2 years in MICA. So, and since I worked there, I knew the faculties, their expertise, which area they can expertise, and also the other facilities, the resources which are available for if I pursue a doctoral programs there and all. So all these things made me like choose that yes, I think MICA can be the best fit for me.
This is the place. Great.
Yes, yes, this is the place.
So, did you apply to any other institutes in India or abroad, especially Durham, for the PhD thing?
Yes, I applied in other institutes in India. Like I got a chance from IIM Visakhapatnam also and everything. But my one of the reason is why MICA for me is that I don't want to only get tagged like by this thing that oh I am a candidate. So it is like I want to gain knowledge. I want to learn more and more about my area. And my area within marketing was consumer behavior and consumer psychology and all. And faculties expertising in this area were more in numbers in MICA.
In MICA, yes. MICA
So
being
that
the premier one in marketing and advertising
it,
thing.
yes, yes, exactly. So I thought that okay, when there is this resources which is required for a, because that's it is not always like okay I got in IIM and I just went in, but after that what your research gonna start your journey. So that is one of my reason was that I went into MICA. And from Durham I didn't consider because I don't want to, because that was a stage in my life where I was not in a position to go abroad again and study for the 4 years. So that's why I didn't choose, and I thought this is a very feasible option for me.
Great. Oh, no, that's also a lesson for people who aspire to do a PhD, that you should also focus on the research output of the faculty rather than just
Exactly.
the brand thing before you choose a school.
Exactly, because I have seen people who are like, okay, they are very fascinated to get a brand name tagged with their name, but they end up crying or they end up, because publication is very much necessary during the research process. You have to get your publications
Yeah.
done, but publication can come which on that area where you love. You can't just go into any area and start studying from like
Just for the
alphabet
sake of
A.
getting a publication.
Exactly. So that was one of my reasons.
That's great. That's great. So now we move on to the admission experience thing. So
Definitely.
many a PhD aspirants will love to learn from your experience at MICA, the admission experience. So can you share how did your admission interview and the process went in terms of questions, the process and the rigor?
Okay. So PhD admissions to any institute is rigorous. You have to be very well prepared before you go there and present yourself. So if I come like by normally if I come in a stages in phases, so my interview duration, if I want to tell you, it is was around 40 to 45 minutes. And you are like exposed to 7 to 8 faculties who are expertise in their area, and that is why it takes like 40 to 45 minutes where you actually present your proposal. Okay, this is where I want to do my research, and then they ask you the questions and all the grilling process happens. Now questions, what they mostly ask or what they expect are like the questions, um, like they will first want to know about you. So it's like it starts with a very general questions that introduce yourself, where you actually introduce talk about your educational backgrounds, your strength. So it's not like talking about your weakness. You shouldn't talk about your weakness. You should talk about your strength there. So, and your work experience, if you have any, if you know any tools or anything, any softwares. which are which you find that okay, it's very relevant, I can talk about that
Mhm.
software in research. So then you say about it, your area where you want to work, why you want to work. So
Mhm.
it starts with this type of preliminary screening.
So was there any screening which happened before the interview? I mean, any SOP, any?
Yes. So before the interview, what happens, which I can specify here so that it helps the other
Mhm.
scholars, aspirants also. So you submit an SOP,
Mhm.
and along with it you submit a research proposal. So in the SOP, when you submit your SOP, it is MICA there expects that to know that why you need, like why that degree gonna help you and how it
Mhm.
gonna help you, like why you find yourself to be very suitable for this degree, and why, because it's all resources available related there.
Mhm.
So there, the SOP you need to write it keeping in mind about that it should align with the area that you have selected as a
Mhm.
research. Then what are the selection criteria they have mentioned, and also your own interest. So these are the three things you need to
Mhm.
align, and you need to write, okay, this is how the SOP, like this is how I want to do my research, and this is where I need your expertise. That's why I'm applying for this position. Then you write your research proposal, which is one of the main, like the major component,
Mhm.
because that's where you are telling them or pitching them about the area or the
Mhm.
topic which you have found out, and now you want to work on that topic, but the topic has to be like novel.
Mhm.
You like
Relevant and valuable.
exactly, it shouldn't be like you are writing about now mobile marketing or adoption of technology, because it's
Mhm.
long gone.
Long.
So think like what in the next 5 years can be very important.
Mhm.
So think, keeping this in mind, forecast yourself, and then you write your research topic. You need to
Mhm.
research, you have to read and research, because that's where the questions arises. Mostly faculties love questioning about that.
So, were there any questions regarding your work experience and the educational qualification that specifically were asked?
Yes, regarding work experience, it's not like they ask you, okay, why you did this job and all. So, if I, with respect to myself, let me tell you that, okay, they knew that I have worked in the academia previously.
Mhm.
So, they started asking me, they will ask you questions relevant to that only. For
Mhm.
example, they will ask me, what is literature review?
Mhm.
Because they know I have worked there. So
Mhm.
how do you do literature reviews? Okay, how literature review is different than the might be an X literature review is different from Y literature. What is
Mhm.
abstract? What is so asking? They will ask you questions which are relevant to your work experience only. So this was the questions which they asked me, and then the methodology. What is research methodology? What is the difference between research methods?
Mhm.
So these were the all questions that they asked me about.
Great, great. So, which part of the whole process you found the most rigorous? The preparing the research proposal or appearing in the interview?
The part which I found more rigorous was entering into the interview. And why it is rigorous? Because it was 7 to 8 faculty. Suddenly you're exposed to everyone.
Exposed to a lot of them. Yes.
And they have their own expertise. They can question you from anywhere. So,
Mhm.
but based on my capabilities, I have prepared whatever I want, but though it's limited in front of them. So for that reason, like that is some a tough moment, but I feel that yes, you should be like mentally calm, try to calm yourself before you enter. So that's one is rigorous, and then facing them, they're keeping on grilling you with lots and lots of questions. Some of the question might be like I don't know what the question is meaning and all, I don't know what to say, you're confused. Like that's what the situation they try to create to know your
Mhm.
mental stability and how you answer and deal. So that's something rigorous, but I guess it's all a learning.
Great, great, great. So, Amrita, would you like to share some preparation tips for the aspiring candidates who are preparing for the PhD admission thing in the coming year?
Yes, I would like, of course, like to share it because it's very much important. So if I start with like how you should, like in a generally you should prepare for an FPM program. So it's not like a particularly MICA. Of course, the context is MICA, but also in general also.
Mhm.
Now the preparation, it should start like 6 to 7 months ago, like before you are applying.
Before.
And why I'm saying that, it's because writing a research proposal is not like merely a day's work which is done, like you
Mhm.
start with the day and you end up at the night. So it is nothing like, so it's all depend upon like how well you have identified an area of research or the
Mhm.
topic, and that is also required to be studied, and it should fetch some novel insights like in the
Mhm.
mind of the faculties and the professors whom you're going to present it.
Mhm.
So I would say like mostly you observe your people around you. It's not about people also. If you don't want to observe them also, you observe the surroundings, like what is going on, like why people are doing this. So observe it, your surroundings. Like keep on then questioning that, okay, I saw this, okay, that person is paying this much, for example, that why that person is paying this much, why the payment is done in this mode. Like you question those things what you observe, and then if you find that okay, something is interesting which has stuck your mind, then you see, you read about it.
Mhm.
So you start your reading by doing some industry reports. You can start by reading those, because those are something which will give you like the recent trend which is happening. So from there you can now build up, okay, this is, if that is the industry, how the research can come out from them. So it's like from industry you are trying to, like it's a transition where you now want to change it into academics, and that's how you concretize your idea. So I would say more or less to the aspirants, like keep your eyes and ears open,
Mhm.
because you get research ideas from there only. You don't
Yeah.
keep on reading newspaper or articles and then you suddenly got. It's all about it. It has to have some practical implication.
Mhm.
So be aware of yourself. And in terms of next, if I come up with in terms of reading books or something, yeah, you can start, you can read books, but I would say like go with the industry reports to know what is going on in the trends,
Mhm.
how people are, whatever that it can be an in about the consumers or the retailers or about any recent phenomena. For example, the metaverse, people are crazy about it, so you read about it. Then
Mhm.
you see that okay, is there any research papers related to it, and if you're reading also any research paper, I would say that reads paper which are very good in good journals, because it has a certain structure, it has a certain pattern which will make you understand, because these are the questions which sometimes the professors ask you. Okay,
Mhm.
so you know about research, which journals you have referred to,
Mhm.
tell us some journals names. So
Mhm.
in the process you got getting aware of those journals also.
So, I mean,
And
this is choosing
you,
the ABDCA and SSCI generals. I mean, the top FT50,
exactly.
FT25, and all those.
If you can understand that, that's well and fine, but try to read the journal which has got in the ABDC list, like
Mhm.
not to be C but try to be B
A
or
plus
A or A star.
A star B.
Exactly. So that is where, and mentally I would say these are like very physical things that you read books and all.
Mhm.
Mentally prepare yourself that you have to have a very good degree of patience within
Mhm.
yourself, because it's a 4 year. Once you are inside it, you can't turn back and like, oh, I don't want to do it. This is not what I am. So it's not like a fun game, because you're investing your time, and
Mhm.
time is very precious. So
Mhm.
try to like figure it out in your mind also mentally, that like be strong that okay, this is a 4 years program, it can be 5 years also. So you should have that patience. So all this mental thing you should come up in your mind, and also think that it's not always transactional. So like I go inside, learn from the expertise, publish 2 papers, done my thesis, get out. No, it's a relationship that you build there. So think it that way.
So, what about the preparation for qualifying exam? I mean, many schools require you to write NET or qualify as a JRF or write CAT. So, how did you prepare for the qualifying exam?
So for qualifying exam, I would say I'm like not so good at all in that. So I prepared for GRE, but the score which I got was, yeah, it was an okay score. But I was like, okay, I got a good, like, it was not a good score. It was a okay score, which is like the minimum required, because I don't want to go. And for the UGC net, yes, during my masters, in my BHU, I used to see people who are like very crazy on doing PhD in BHU. Then I learned, okay, in BHU, if you want to do PhD, you have to crack UGC net. So I sat there in the UGC net, but I saw that, okay, where there were this 2 or 3 phases the exam used to happen at that time, and it was like a whole day you are investing. And when it happened on the first phase, I was excited because it was a general question. And the second phase, when it started, I said, मुझसे नहीं होने वाला है. This is like, I don't have the patience to hold a sit here and give an exam. So I just left the exam hall that time. So then I thought that, okay, I will go somewhere where it is like for me, because getting a GRE and getting into a very renowned institute, you get, okay, for example, I got in IMA, but ultimately udhar mujhe, if I am being there, if I am start feeling inferior, अरे मुझे तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है, मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं पा रही हूँ, मेरी जिंदगी खराब हो गया, मैं कहाँ आ गया,
that would have
I
been
can't.
deadly blow.
Exactly. So it's better udhar hi jao, where you can actually be in the average, or where you can, from that average, you can excel to above average. So in MICA, what happens, if I talk about it, MICA has their own exam. So it's the exam where it happens is like in 3 phases. So first it's the telephonic round, where the professor going to call you and ask you very basic questions about your SOP and your research proposal. And then it comes the written exam. So in the written exam, you are given research papers prior your exam, like 2 to 3 days, and you read it, and then your research understanding and all these things happen. And lastly is the personal interview round. So that is the reason. So my preparation to this respect was that, since I already worked as a researcher, so I already developed those foundation and the basic skills about research. What are the parts in the paper, how the parts are different, like all those basic questions I developed. And yes, I read very renowned journals into my interest areas, because I have to prepare for my personal interview round. So that was my preparation. And of course, Das and Malhotra is very famous for research methodology. I would say if research methodology is a very favorite part of all the faculties. Like they will ask you questions from there. Like they love to ask you questions on. So read about it more.
That's it. So as per your experience, what qualities does an interviewer look for in a potential PhD candidate?
Okay. So the qualities which look for, it can come in 2 phases. So one is the academic and the other can be the non-academic qualities, I can say. So of course in academic, the interviewer expect that you're expert in, like not very expert, but based on your capabilities, you are expert in that area. There is very good clarity of understanding whatever concepts you're talking about or whatever terms you're using. Like without knowing the term, you're just using randomly just to show off. Don't do it's like a disaster. So you know about it. And also the important thing is, like whatever you are talking or pitching them, it should make sense. You shouldn't like talk anything whatever coming in your mind. It should have some sense. And also you need to convince them with your knowledge that, okay, this is a very novel topic. So that convincing power you should have through your knowledge. And in case of non-academic, I would say they try to evaluate your confidence level at that time. Then the way you are talking to the interviewer, that is plays a very important role there. Then the tonality that you are using while answering the questions, the humbleness to accept that, okay, I don't know the question, but I am eager to learn about it. It's not like in the face you're like, no, I don't know this question. Like there should be a certain humbleness. And also how good you are as a listener there, because you can argue that okay, I know better about this area. Everyone is experts there. Okay. So you listen to the question first, understand what the person is trying to tell, take a pause if you want and then answer. At least answer something which is right and making sense rather than answering anything. So these are the two things which I would say they are like the categories of qualities the interviewer look for.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So now we move on to the campus experience thing.
Yeah.
So how has been your experience at MICA Ahmedabad as a resident and as a scholar as so far?
So if I start with MICA, so as a resident, I haven't been able to stay in MICA because my course started when COVID started.
Mhm.
So COVID actually gave it, like, I don't know, I should say it like a curse of COVID or like a boom of COVID. But I was not able to stay there as a resident. But and also now what happens in the third and the fourth year, you generally focus on your research where you coursework is not there. So it's not mandatory that I go inside the campus.
Mhm.
But as a scholar, I have a very good experience of the campus is very beautiful. So
Mhm.
firstly, this campus is outskirts the city, the main city. So it's like lush green. There are lots of wild animals you can see.
Oh,
So in
great.
terms of wild animals, it's like peacocks are there. Then there are lots of types of snakes comes out in the rainy season. So all these wild animals, it doesn't make you feel that okay, this is a college where everything is very strict, structured, disciplined. It's like free, open, all these things. And also in the campus, in terms of research, there are 24 into 7 library
Mhm. Oh,
facilities,
great.
and the faculties and the staff member who are there, they are like awesome. Like they make your journey, like beauty is something which you see, but
Mhm.
like staying there, you need the people around you also to be like nice, right?
Mhm.
So they are like very polite, very helpful, and very humble. They will understand. It's not like okay, why you did this. Like they won't treat you as if they are like the boss and
Mhm.
you are like they under them. Something like that doesn't happen at all.
So
So
it's very
it's like
flat and very friendly environment.
very friendly. That is why you get this opportunity to talk with them. At least you don't
Mhm.
like you're creative when you are very creative and you want to discuss, okay, I want to study this research. How is it? Like you can talk, might be that come up into a good research,
Mhm.
but you have this freedom there.
So
So
that's
that's
where
where
most of the learning comes from. I mean, outside the classroom
exactly
and. Mhm.
exactly it's not like a professor or a faculty should have a very professional relationship. Yes, don't have a very
Mhm.
personal or friendly relationship, but not like a strict professional. हाँ मुझे
Mhm.
हर समय वो बात से जा रहा है तो मुझे डर ही लग रहा है मैं.
Yeah,
Yeah, this fear shouldn't come,
shouldn't be there.
like exactly. And yes, I love the mess food in MICA.
Oh,
So ये थोड़ा सा important होता है if you
बहुत
stay
बहुत बहुत
there. तो mess food थोड़ा सा मीठा होता है because it's Gujarat
गुजरात.
there. But ultimately उसमें veg non-veg दोनों होता है, तो it makes वो combination काफी अच्छा होता है.
So
So
once the food is taken care of, then you can focus on the things that matter. Otherwise, you will keep on
actually,
scouting for the food only.
definitely. So this is a good thing which happened in MICA.
So, Amrita, what are the three things that you love about MICA? One, two, and three. Fast.
I love the campus, the
Hmm.
people, and the mess food.
Oh, great. So, what are the three things you love most about Ahmedabad?
About Ahmedabad, I love because MICA is there.
Hmm.
And the second thing, there is a high safety of the girls at any time of the. It's not, I would say, any time of the night, but yeah, there is a high safety of the
I see.
girls.
Mhm.
And yes, there is a lot of food stalls and food outlets there where you can hang around. It's not like 5 star or something
The
AC.
vibrant food culture the city has. I mean, the food scene.
Actually, so it's very good there. It's a very good place where these are the three things.
So, Amrita, what kind of career opportunities would you like to explore post PhD? The academic, the industry, and or the think tank thing.
So, in the academic, of course, I would like to opt for academic as my first choice because that is how I am being prepared now.
Mhm.
My mindset is that way, right? But yes, I would also like to explore the industry because I haven't gone into the industry or I didn't have that industry experience, and I would like to, like, I won't reject an offer if I getting in an industry, if it wants to hire Amrita. So I won't reject that. I would like to always go there. And if I want to focus on industry, I would say I would like to go into those domains where market research or qualitative market researchers
And
or
the
yeah,
consulting and think tank thing.
yes, because that's something going to be my new learning. So I want to learn that thing, like I'm open to it.
So you also have Gartner and other companies on your radar, so which you would like to explore later on if it happens.
Yeah, if they love to hire Amrita, then I would of course love to go and join them.
So that's great. We wish you all the luck. So,
Thank you.
Amrita, so what is an ideal day for you? So,
Oh, my ideal day is like you wake up in the morning, then you have a cup of tea, you do some exercise, might be going to the gym or something. Then you start doing your research work, which is all inside a laptop. So you open your laptop, you start doing your research, and then I would say like not to spend too much on your research because that's only a part of you. So I would say like spend that much which is required. That's all. Because it's going to frustrate you or you're going to go mad or bang your head. So it's better focus limited time. And then I would say, then what I do is, I generally in the evening I go out. I try to socialize because I love talking with people. So I try to socialize with them and all. And yeah, you spend some time like with which is your time. Like it's not like a professional, yeah, you're thinking about research. It's like you spend your own time, be calm, you binge watch whatsoever. So and then you sleep. So it is an ideal day, which I can say.
great. So now we move on to the rapid fire thing. First, an early morning ritual or a practice.
Look out of the window with a cup of tea,
Great. A must-have item on your office desk.
pen and a notepad.
What is the latest purchase that you made to increase your productivity?
Oh, the latest purchase is this eyewear which I purchased because I want to protect my eyes from getting affected in future because of
Great.
exposure to a lot of.
So, Amrita, what are your favorite books?
So my latest purchase has been, and also this is one of my favorite book, is Your Happiness Was Hacked by Vivek Wadhwa and Alex. So this book talks about like how internet is being intervened in your life and how it is controlling you and you're getting dependent on internet. So that's one of my favorite book.
So, Amrita, what do you do when you feel stressed, overwhelmed, or overworked?
I simply shut down my laptop, think nothing about research, and I like try to sit idle like for 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and I want to like to think something which is not about research. Like I don't want to think about it at all, and then I'd start doing some binge watching or any movies or any web series which is a comedy a bit, so that it's it's relieving
Yes,
your
yes.
mind and something. So that's what.
That's great. So that was Amrita Chakraborty for you, an FPM scholar from MICA. And we surely had fun recording the interview and you will surely love to watch it. Thanks a lot, Amrita. Thanks for your time. And we wish you all the best for your doctoral studies and your career post that.
Thank you so much, Hemant. It was really so nice contributing to your company, and this is really I loved it.
Thanks, Amrita. Hope to see you soon.
It's great to see you all here. Thank you for watching our work. If you have not subscribed to INKPOTHUB Media, then please hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel and support research celebrations in India.